My father slid a folder across my dining table. "Sign the deed or we take you to court." His voice was cold, clinical, like he was firing an employee, not talking to his daughter. I looked at my mother. She wouldn't meet my eyes. My sister sat beside them, arms crossed, jaw set. They were in my penthouse, the one I bought 3 years ago, my name on the title, my down payment, my mortgage, my 60-hour weeks for a decade to make it happen, and they wanted me to hand it over. To my sister, for her fresh start, I said no. Dad opened his briefcase. I opened mine. How do you prove you're not the villain when your own parents write the story? Grab something to drink. This one's a ride. And if you've ever been the black sheep in your family, hit that like button. You'll want to see how this ends. Where are you watching from and what time is it right now? Drop it in the comments. Because what happened next changed everything. Let me back up. I'm the older daughter, but I was never the favorite. My sister got the car at 16, a red BMW with a bow on it. I got a bus pass and a handshake. She got the college fund, sorority, spring breaks in Cancun. I got, "You're smart. You'll figure it out." So I did. I worked through state school, night shifts at a coffee shop, lived in a basement studio with one window. I saved everything, every dollar, every receipt. My first boss, a woman named Claire, told me something I never forgot. Track every dollar like it's evidence. One day, you'll need it. I didn't know why, I just listened. 10 years later, I had $84,000 in savings. I bought the penthouse, 3 bedrooms, floor-to-ceiling windows, 23rd floor, my name, my mortgage, my closing. My parents didn't even show up to sign congratulations. My sister posted on Instagram about her 3rd vacation that year. I posted a photo of my keys. One comment from Mom, "Nice." That was it. I kept working, kept saving, kept a binder in my home office. Every bank statement, every mortgage payment, every tax return, I didn't know why I kept it all. I thought the hard part was over. I was wrong. 3 weeks ago, Mom called. "Let's do dinner, just family." I should have known. I walked into their house. Dining room table set like Thanksgiving. My sister and her husband were already there. We made it through appetizers, then dessert. Then Mom cleared her throat. "Sweetheart, we need to talk about your living situation." I put my fork down. "My living situation?" Dad leaned forward. "You're in a 3-bedroom penthouse. Alone, it's wasted space." My sister's hand went to her stomach. "I'm pregnant," she said. I smiled. "Congratulations." Mom's voice turned soft, dangerous. "She needs room, stability. You don't really need 3 bedrooms, do you?" I felt the air shift. "What are you asking?" Dad's tone was flat. "We want you to sign the penthouse over to your sister. You can move into something smaller, something reasonable." I laughed. I actually laughed. "You want me to give her my home?" "It's not about giving," Mom said. "It's about family." My sister started crying. "I just want my kids to have what you had." "Oh, wait, you never wanted to share anything." I stood up. "I bought it. My name, my mortgage. The answer is no." Dad stood too. Threw his napkin on the table. "You have 1 week to think about what family really means." He walked out. Mom whispered behind me, "You're going to regret this." 3 days later, a certified letter arrived. Heavy paper, law firm letterhead. I opened it standing in my kitchen. They were claiming my parents had an equitable interest in the penthouse, that there was an oral family trust agreement. I read it twice. It was a lie, but it was a lie on legal paper. The same day, my sister's husband posted on social media. "Some people forget where they came from, praying for my wife and her family." The comments piled up. Cousins, aunts, friends of my parents, all of them on her side. My phone started ringing. I stopped answering. Then a voicemail from my mother. Her voice was shaking. "I never thought I raised someone so cold. If you don't do the right thing, don't come to Christmas or any holiday, ever." I sat on my couch, stared out at the city lights. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe blood mattered more than blueprints. Maybe I was selfish. Then I looked at the bookshelf. The binder, I pulled it down, and I started reading. First page. The purchase agreement, dated 3 years ago, signed by me, buyer line, one name, mine, down payment, $84,000, wired from my savings account. Account number ending in 4712. I flipped the page. Seller's agent notes, handwritten in the margin. Buyer's parents declined to co-sign or contribute. Transaction is solo. Next document, the title deed, recorded with the county, embossed seal, official, owner of record, my name, no co-owners, no liens except the mortgage, and the mortgage. Also my name, alone. I pulled the wire transfer receipt, $84,000. My account to escrow, date stamped. Their oral agreement? It didn't exist on paper because it never existed at all. They were counting on me not fighting back, counting on guilt. On me folding because I didn't want to be the bad daughter. I closed the binder. Then I opened the next section, because the first receipt told me I owned it. The second one was about to tell me why they really wanted it. The next morning, another letter. Same law firm, notice of intent to file complaint. Constructive trust, unjust enrichment. They were going to sue me. My sister started a group chat. Extended family, 32 people. Some of us actually need help, some of us just hoard. Screenshots started circulating. My aunt texted me. How can you do this to your own sister? I didn't reply. Then my father called, no greeting. You want to tear this family apart over a piece of real estate? Fine, we'll see you in court. And when you lose, you'll have nothing. No family, no home, nothing. He hung up. An hour later, a text from my mother. Your sister's marriage is falling apart. This penthouse could save her. But you don't care, do you? I stared at the screen. 48 hours. That's what the second letter said. Sign a quitclaim deed in 48 hours or they file. Public lawsuit. Court records. Local news, maybe. Total estrangement. I had a choice. Give in and lose everything I built. Or fight and lose everyone I grew up with. I sat down at my desk. Opened the binder again. 48 hours. I pulled the second document. Mortgage payment ledger. 3 years, 36 payments. Every single one debited from my checking account. Principal, interest, taxes, insurance. Total paid to date, $157,000. Parents' contribution. 0. I turned the page. A credit report I'd pulled 6 months ago when I looked into refinancing. My broker had run a cross-reference by address. My sister's name appeared, tied to $68,000 in unsecured debt. Credit cards, personal loans, a defaulted car lease. All of it less than 2 years old. I kept reading. A county lien search I'd requested for property research. My parents' home. Second mortgage, recorded 11 months ago. Amount borrowed, $125,000. I did the math in my head. Sister's debt, $68,000. Parents' second mortgage, $125,000. My penthouse equity. About $370,000, enough to clear both. They weren't asking for fairness. They were drowning. And I was the lifeboat they wanted to commandeer. I wasn't their daughter. I was their exit strategy. I called my cousin, the only one who hadn't picked a side. She answered on the first ring. Are you okay? I asked her one question. What's really going on with my sister? Silence. Then she sighed. Her husband lost his job 8 months ago. He hasn't told anyone except your parents. My stomach dropped. They're 3 months behind on the condo. Your parents refinanced their house to cover the first 2 months, but they're tapped out now. I closed my eyes. So the plan is, get you to sign over the penthouse. Sell it fast. Use the equity to clear her debt and keep your parents' house out of foreclosure. There it was, the whole picture. My sister. $68,000 in the red. My parents. Second mortgage bleeding them dry. My penthouse. $680,000 market value. $310,000 mortgage balance. $370,000 net, enough to zero them all out. I wasn't family. I was an ATM. Thank you, I said. I hung up. I made one more call. And the war ended before they even knew it had started. Her name was Diane Cho, real estate litigation attorney. Former prosecutor, zero tolerance for fraud. I met her the next morning. She listened, took notes, reviewed my binder, then she looked up. They have no claim, legal or equitable. If they file, we'll bury them. She laid out the plan. Step 1, file for declaratory judgment. A court order confirming I'm the sole owner and extinguishing any claimed interest. Step 2, send a cease and desist to my parents and sister. Cite the evidence, the purchase docs, the payment history, the fact that no oral agreement was ever written or acted on. Step 3, add a quiet line at the end. If they proceed with a frivolous lawsuit, we counterclaim for abuse of process, and we go after legal fees. I signed the retainer that afternoon. Diane drafted everything in 6 hours, the motion, the cease and desist, both time-stamped and ready to file. I recorded a video statement summarizing the facts, uploaded it to cloud storage with a timestamp. Just in case the social media campaign got worse, then I waited. Silence is power. 72 hours later, my phone rang, their attorney, emergency settlement conference, their lawyer's words, to avoid costly litigation. I agreed on the record, with Diane present, neutral conference room downtown, glass walls, city skyline behind us. My parents walked in, my sister, their attorney. They looked tired. Diane opened her binder. Before we waste the court's time, let's establish the facts. She slid the first exhibit across the table. Purchase agreement, title deed. Sole purchaser, owner of record, no co-signers, no co-owners. Their attorney skimmed it, said nothing. Diane slid the second exhibit. 3 years of mortgage payments, $157,000, every payment from my client's account. Parental contribution 0. My mother looked at her hands. Diane placed the third exhibit. Credit report, lien filing, your daughter's $68,000 in unsecured debt, your second mortgage of $125,000, and the equity in this penthouse, roughly $370,000. She paused. That's motive. In black and white. Their attorney went pale. My father opened his mouth. Diane cut him off. Your claim has no legal or equitable foundation. If you file, my client will counterclaim for abuse of process and seek full fees. This meeting is your exit ramp. My sister broke, sobbing, hands over her face. I didn't think it would go this far. I didn't know what else to do. My mother looked away. My father's jaw worked, but no words came. Their attorney leaned over, whispered to my dad. Then he spoke. We'll withdraw, in writing. Diane slid a pre-drafted settlement agreement across the table. Parents and sister acknowledge sole ownership. Release all claims. Mutual non-disparagement clause. My father's hand shook as he signed. My mother signed without looking at me. My sister signed last, tears on the paper. Diane collected the documents. This matter is resolved. Any further contact regarding this property will be considered harassment. I stood, walked out. My phone buzzed in the hallway. A text from my cousin. You won, are you okay? I didn't answer yet, because I didn't know. 6 months later, my parents sold a rental property they'd kept quiet, paid off the second mortgage. No bankruptcy, no foreclosure. They're on a tight budget now, but they're stable. My sister and her husband moved, 2 states away. He got a new job offer, better pay, fresh start. She deleted her social media for 6 months. No posts, no comments. I don't know if they're happy, but I hope they're okay. I kept the penthouse, refinanced at a lower rate, 4.1%, saves me $340 a month. I used part of that savings to start a scholarship fund for first-generation college students, kids who work night shifts and live in basements and save every dollar. I named it after Claire, the boss who told me to keep receipts. The ribbon cutting was small. Just me and a few friends, but it felt right. My mom sent a birthday card 2 months ago, no note inside, just her signature. I sent a thank you text. 2 lines, polite. That's where we are now, boundaries, not bridges. My dad hasn't called. My sister sent 1 email. I'm sorry, I wrote back. I accept your apology. I hope your new city treats you well. That's enough. Last week I hosted a dinner party. Small, 6 people. Friends who stayed quiet during the noise. My cousin who told me the truth. Diane, who billed fairly and became a friend. We ate on my balcony, watched the sunset, laughed. The penthouse was full, not of ghosts, of life. I still keep the binder. Not because I need it, but because it reminds me that the truth, documented and calm, is the most powerful thing you own. Your success is not a family emergency fund, and protecting what you built is not selfishness. It's survival. This story is a fictionalized dramatization. Nothing here is legal or financial advice. But here's my question for you. Have you ever had to set a hard boundary with family over money or property? What happened? How did it end? Drop your story in the comments. I read every single one. And if this resonated, hit that subscribe button. There's more where this came from. Thanks for being here.